What up, everybody? Scuff D here, and today we are going over Othere Wyrdmake. I want to say Certified Titan Killer, but here's the deal. I've been playing it for the last 3 days, and I have not come across a Titan. They've been hiding. I think the Titans had their little blow up, and then a lot of people started playing stuff that killed Titans, and people who were playing Titans got bored of playing longer games. So we're not seeing as many. However, in about 13 hours, we're going to get ourselves the Trader Titans, so I expect we'll see them then. We'll see some new Titans, some new waves, maybe some Dies Irae, in which case I'm going to bust out Othere Wyrdmake again and get some certified Titan, get them certified. What does that mean, certified? That's just a title I came up with. But the way I view it, here's how I view it. If you're a certified Titan killer, you are a deck that has gone 10-0 against Titans. And that's a little ambitious. At least 5 wins without any losses feels good, but all the decks that I'm going to show off that are certified Titan killers, and I've got 3 currently, have got a 10-0 record against Titans. You can look for more of those videos to come. I will be showing them off. Some of them are not as impressive decks as you would think, but trust me, against Titans, they work very well. Will they work against Trader Titans? I don't know, but we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about Othere Wyrdmake, and this is a mission deck. So we've got a couple things going. We've got, number one, we've got Othere Wyrdmake. This is the backbone of the deck. You could go Russ, right? You're like, yeah, let's go Space Wolf. Let's go Leaving Russ. Why not? I didn't want to. I wanted to try something different, and I didn't want to do Giger. But I also really like the fact that Othere has got a 1 energy ability. He's got a pack heal. So instead of having to be aggressive, you can actually sit back, not attack, passively heal your troops that are flanking and attacking, and then give them additional health for 1 energy more. Or turn 1, play the mission, and then use your ability to give yourself +2 health. This is +2 health, not just healing 2, so you can actually increase Othere's health or other units' health beyond its base stat. The mission is another key integral part because the entire point of the deck is built around the mission. Mission is Sons of Fenirs, attack with a friendly troop 8 times, and then you get the Howl of the Wolf King, which has got some great art. I don't think we showcase the mission reward art enough, but Howl of the Wolf King, 1 energy your warlord gains. Give pack give +1/+1 to your troops. So what that means is once you trigger the mission, not only is Othere healing 1 to a unit when a unit attacks, he's also giving all of your units +1/+1 when a unit attacks. Guess what? This is a deck that will have lots of units attacking. This deck can get mission off by 5-6 energy if everything goes right. Perfect draws, perfect opponent misplays, or, like expectations, 5 energy. 6 to 7 energy in your standard games. Some games it doesn't need to go that long because it's Space Wolfy shenanigans. But let's take a look at a replay, and then I'll break down the deck and kind of explain why I've got the cards I've got and how I use them to the best of the ability. So we will start off with probably one of the hardest matchups, I would say, for this deck and Space Wolves in general, is the Night Lords. Mainly because the Night Lords have got the ability to flank at high attack value, which kind of gets past your ward. It gets past your ward troops and takes out your troops, and then you don't have either anything left on the board to continue further packing, or you're throwing away all your troops just to flank into them and remove them. And that makes it hard because the Space Wolves really want their stuff to stay on board. If he has got the 4/3 terror flank, this is a dead turn. I'm out, right? He doesn't. He does lower my troops' ability, lower Othere's ability rather, to attack, but that's like the perfect case scenario in this event. Then you can really run wild because now you've got a 5/6 ward. Now this is the Space Wolfy shenanigans. It doesn't happen every game. Most of the time, your opponent is smart or has got the tools, ability to flank, a fast troop, or something else to get rid of this, so that is not really a threat that comes online. But when it does, it's nice because not only does he heal 2, because he's attacked once, healed once, attacked once, healed once. Like, that's it. That's how quick the game goes in that situation. And that's not just with Sevatar, that's with anybody. That's the best case scenario that you go for. There's no mission in there. Well, how about when your opponent sticks around to play the game and they play it a little bit smarter? Got a Ralderon here. I did have a Sol Nibiran game to show off, but as of the time of this recording, about 4 hours ago, Sol Nibiran received his nerf, and therefore, number one, that replay it will be bugged, but also it doesn't matter at this point. Sol is kind of a dead horse. There's no point beating it. So this is probably your, like this right here, the play mission heal 2. That is your standard go-to turn. There is another optimal turn that you can have with Hemtel Squad as a turn 1 play, but so far the last couple of games I haven't got that. So what we really start doing then is just getting card advantage, banking flankers as much as we can. Vorax is a great tool here because this is 2 ticks on your mission, but also if you've triggered your mission, this is basically a 4 troop that's going to give +2/+2 to everything, and that's pretty powerful. Now I'm willing to sacrifice the Jubak here and chance that he has got a flanker or something else just to get that Baelai up there, and he does, and that's to be expected. He's got the flank. He doesn't have the flank. He's got the escape vent. So we know that old Baelai is not going to survive too long, but we do have some tricks up our sleeve. We do have some warded troops that it's going to make it hard for him to do anything about. He's going to have to figure out some way to get past those. And while he's not, Othere is healing. He's healing up full. I haven't used the counterattack yet. I want to save that. I want to save that for one more turn to burst in there. We've got this guy here that's a +1. And now with the cursor, well, that's just a top deck draw. But we also had the Goldstone Hunters. I was going to use both the Cobra and the Goldstone to wipe the board. But as it worked out, I didn't need to. And then he heals for 1, but he's also going to heal for 1 because this thing attacks over here, as well as his standard pack ability, so he goes super high up. And then just for good measure, because he's in that range where he could have a Sanguinary Guard, I'm going to go ahead and bolster his health all the way up. So if he goes into it, he's going to have to take 9. And now he actually has the Judgment of Angels, so he's flanking everything in. I still have got my own flankers. I've got 4 missions to go till the mission ticks. He's going to have to still take 9 to the face, and that's good enough for me. You're taking 9 to the face, that's a win in my book. And we'll just make that stick. Another warded troop. He's had to deal with 3 warded troops so far, and that's actually going to give me the game because he's given me things that I can flank multiple times. I only need 3 things to trigger my mission. This right here is 2 attacks alone, and then we've got 2 attacks here. That's 4 attacks, 5 attacks, 6 attacks. So not only is that a mission, but that's +2/+2 basically to everything on the board, which includes 2 bloodthirsty units. So that's pretty significant. And this right here is the timing, where I time how I attack so that my heals are not spread out if I can help it. I can actually attack with 1 unit that's damaged and then attack with either units that die or units that take no damage, because this right here's got drop pods. And then what we're doing is we're bolstering the health of everything. Now, obviously, this is the Blood Angels. The Blood Angels are not out of it yet. They've got Crimson Spectre. I didn't buff the troop because I played the Vorax. I wanted to clear his board. So we trade back, and before you know it, the game's even Steven again. That was a little bit of a gamble, but at the same time, worth it because I still have plenty of stuff to play. I do like Goldstone Hunters in this deck here because, well, I can, for 1 energy, give them a 4 health, and if I happen to have the mission, then as you'll see here, I can boost my own health. But if I have the mission this next turn, this is going to attack. It's going to boost. I can bounce it and attack it again, and boost again. And he's going everything into face, which is fair. I mean, all he's got to do is 6 damage. I've got 6 on the board, but I'm about to get a lot more. He doesn't give me anything to flank, which is smart on his part because he knows anything I'm flanking. But that's where we do the old Goldstone bouncy roo. A 3 attack that survives, then heals itself with my pack, buffs everything else, and then I can bounce it again with the Melgator and go deeper. Because why not? Because why not? Was this a little bit of a flex? Not really. I was doing the math. I was like, I don't want to touch you with the warlord. I'll just touch you with the troops. And that's what we did. So you gotta play smart. If your opponent doesn't give you anything to flank, that is tricky. Or if they're a mono warlord, that can be tricky. So let's take a look at the deck here. I'll kind of explain the card by cards that were chosen, and then give you a game where what do you do when your opponent makes it hard for you? When they make it hard for you to actually do your flanking. So we talked about Othere Wyrdmake, we talked about Sons of Fenris. Ambassador to Melgator is very useful in a lot of situations, either to returning troops, front lines, whatever the case may be, even bouncing your own flanking troops so that you can use it a second time. Now, the best ideal turn 1 play, if you're not playing the mission right away, in general, turn 1 play is Hemtel Squad. Hemtel Squad's your turn 1. You drop Hemtel. Unless your opponent, and there are a couple warlords that can deal with Hemtel easier than others, but if they can't, if they don't have a ability to do damage from hand, an attack from hand, a flank, fast troop, or they go first and they play a troop, Hemtel Squad is typically going to survive. Turn 2, you use the mission, you attack with Hemtel Squad, you play a second Hemtel Squad, and then from turn 3 on, you're going either using your ability to boost the health of it, or playing other troops. Maybe in desperation you might play Curse of Wolfen, but you want to refrain from playing Curse of Wolfen if it's not an awarded troop, if you can help it, because you want to make the most of that boost, and giving +2/+2 as well as Survivor 1 to a warded troop ensures that the only way your opponent is getting rid of that troop is either with a random removal, or board clear, or typically flanking and face striking, and that's the way to go about it. IR Fenirs is a 1-of in this deck for the simple fact that it's a 2 damage, it's a 2 pocket damage when you need it, but it also draws a troop from your deck, and that can be very important early in the game, that can be very important late in the game when you're kind of running out of options, and maybe you need a Goldstone Hunters, or you need a flanking troop, but it's also kind of nice where you can reach behind front lines and deal 2 damage, so that's always good. Double Cobra Hunters, because the deck is all about the pack, it's all about the mission, so everything that can flank, I can get in here, I'm going to flank. I've got 2 Cobra Hunters, I've also got 2 Punitive Strikes, which give me 2 Cobra Hunters. That's a total of 6 Cobra Hunters playable. 2 Curse of Wolfens, 1 Emperor's Executioner, because I don't want to go too tactic heavy and not have any troops to play, and that can happen in some games. That makes it very difficult. Then you have to be very smart using your ability and really banking for a higher hand. Goldstone Hunters, as you saw there, not only because of their fast, which goes for the mission, but because I can use my ability late game to give them 4 health, which means that they stay on the board, and that is important. You've got your anti-stealth with Informant Network. You've got Jortan Stalker Squad, because that's just a great turn 2 or 3 play. Turn 3 especially, because then you use Othere's ability and give them 6 health reward. Jubak is give or take. You really don't need Jubak in the deck. There's probably other cards you can throw in. Jubak, it doesn't do anything for you. You're not going to be attacking with it, but does give card options, and that's why I have it in there. It also doesn't use energy, and that's why I don't have Kaizalane in the deck, because I don't want to be spending energy on Kaizalane and not playing troops on curve if I can help it. Halvdan Baelai gives +1/0. This guy can win games if he stays on the board. I don't have to explain why this is good. Another flanking. Guess what? 2 flanks, and it heals 1, which means it flanks, and if it has 1 health, it's going to heal 1 + 1 from Othere. Or I can use Othere's ability at 5 energy, give it 5 health, and then it can flank for 4 and still heal 1. We talked about Vorax, which is also flanking, and then Jurgen is your nice frontline. Gunnarsson, double Varangi. Why double Varangi? Because guess what? They flank, and flanking on those things is nice. Sometimes you just play them. You don't even have to flank. You just play a 7/5. There's nothing to flank, but guess what? I have a 7/5 on the board that now you have to answer, and it really forces your opponent to decide, do I play this troop or not? Can I get rid of this thing? And then you still have a second Varangi in hand. Ragnarok, because you do need 1 hard removal, and Fenrisian troops, because those flank. There's other things you could do with this deck, with a couple cards. But let's take a look at how you play against a deck that doesn't let you flank, or makes it very difficult for you to flank in optimal, and how do you play in that regard. Okay, so it probably doesn't get much harder than this here with Sergeant Cork, because Sergeant Cork can protect on curve. He has frontline just by attacking. He has higher health. So right out the gate, my flanking strategy is not dead. It's not dead in the water. It is extremely difficult at that point. But I do have the optimal cards if I can make go of it, and if he makes a misplay or two, right? I've got a unit here that's going to give me, 2 attack. I'm gonna be able to get my mission going. I'm gonna have a troop on the board next turn that may or may not survive. That's questionable. This card isn't going to do anything for me aside from playing it, so I'll hold on to that. I'll hold on to my punitive strike. If I punish him enough that he has to stop attacking, then I can really go ham with all the flanking troops in my hand, because right now I've got 2, 3, 4 units in my hand that can flank. He's still protecting. We've got some pings that I'm praying as these are going. Please don't ping me. Please don't ping me, because if this kills, it does, and then I'm sad. I'm a sad dog. All right, so what do I do now? What do I do about that now? I'm going to play out the Jortan, and I'm going to boost the Jortan. I'm going to give him 6 health ward, so he can go into this and take 3 damage. And it looks like he's playing Solar Auxilia, so this is going to be a lot of pings, but if I can survive the pinging, we can go off. More importantly, what he just did here in this turn was he put a frontline troop, but he didn't use his frontline ability. This gives me a lot of ping potential. So knowing that, I'm going to take advantage of that ASAP. I want to survive my attack here, so I'm going to make the most that I can. Playing punitive right now or playing Vorax, those won't do it. Those won't cut it. But I can attack here. I can heal. And then I can attack this and heal him again, and then have him attack and heal again. I wipe his whole board out, and this has magically gotten 4 health, and my mission just ticked off 4 times. That was a big misplay on him. All he had to do was attack Othere, and I would get 2 attacks off. He would still have his little 2 guys there. He doesn't. So he's going to eat 3. This guy did his job. And that's fine. He hasn't played any troops. I've got Jurgen still in hand, and I can really go to town with a warded frontline 4, especially against Sergeant Cork, who wants to attack in order to give frontline. So I'm really going to punish him for doing that. Now, if it's Jagatai Khan, then Jurgen is still good because he's got ward, and then Jagatai Khan has got to use energy for his sneak attack, and he's got to use flanking troops. He's got to use his spikes. That's good too. If he's Angron, he has to go into this, or he has to have a conqueror. So he's done his protecting. He's done his job. I can't really kill any of these things, so I'm not going to. What I'm actually going to do with this play here is set the board up and bait him out as much as possible. He's going to have to figure out a way to get rid of this and this, or I'm going to get 2 ticks off, 3 ticks off of my mission. And is he going to go in for the 4? He's going in for the 4. Is he going to go in for the 2? He's going in for the 2, and that's okay, because we've got more board to set. We've got right here this, I can make him a 4 heal, and this can attack twice. I'm going to hold on to this Emperor's Executioners. This is going to heal up here with the pack. I don't even have to do anything. This is just ticking it for me. But I'm going to keep that. I'm up on health. I've got 11 health on him, and now I'm going to throw that out there just to really hammer down so he has no troops. The reason I did that is okay, if I've got him at 6 health, he's not going to want to attack at all. He'll play a front line. I have to figure out how to get past that front line, but he's not going to attack. Instead, he's going to use it as a passive. I have got plenty of troops, and more importantly, I've got the energy to tick it off, have the 1 attack once, and then play my mission, and just go ham. Go face. Let's do it. Face the place. Let's clear house. Let's make things work. Let's heal that 1. And then let's play our mission. And this is one of those games where, because he didn't he had frontline with his warlord, it's harder to get the mission done. Mission comes late game. If you get the ideal setup, like I said, like typically you can get mission off by turn 4 or 5, which is 5 or 6 energy. 7 energy is your kind of average, unless your draws just bite or your opponent just answers you. And there's nothing you can do about that. Your opponent has got perfect draws. And I think he made a misplay there. Not that it was unintentional. I think what he was hoping was to get a front line with this ability, and instead of clearing the board and sacrificing both of his troops, he thought, well, I'll get a front line and I'll survive. That's a gamble. If he had cleared his board and gotten rid of both my troops, I had 2 more troops to drop from hand, plus the punitive strike, plus my healing ability, so I was in a good spot. So that's what you do in those situations. This deck has beaten Angrons. This deck has beaten other aggressive Mind Warlords, Karn, just for the simple fact that I can get some warded troops out, I can keep them alive, or I can heal myself. Those games don't go super long. Typically, you're not going to get the mission off, but the ability to get +2 health, as well as having warded troops and fast troops when you need it as a pocket damage, is very nice. So, if you don't have all the flanking cards that I've shown off here, if you don't have some of those epics, the Jortan and the Borax, for some reason you don't have the common cards, Curse of the Wolf, which is a common, or Punitive Strike, which is a common, you can still play this deck, but there are some cards that you probably want to pass over because they're not going to be as effective for you. Thrill of the Hunt is nice because it heals and gives stealth to a troop, infantry or starty, so you can use it again on your next turn. That's not bad, especially if you can then give it additional health with Othere Wyrdmake. That's good. You can consider like having one of those in there, but you don't want to water down your deck with too many tactics. Hemto Squad is definitely a card that you want to have. Aldrum Hunters, you'll notice, is not in this deck. That's because they're typically not a unit that I'm going to be attacking with. I also don't have flank, and I'm not Leman Russ, so I don't need it. Horgan Pack is okay for Othere if you are looking for a budget Othere, just because he's got a passive heal too. So with Othere, technically that's healing 3. The problem is he doesn't have flank, so you do have to find a way to either protect him or give him the health when you play it on 4 energy so he survives. Fenirs is okay. It's not going to do anything for you. Valgar Seekers is too slow. But if you're doing budget and you don't have the cards and you're at lower levels, Valgar Seekers is okay. For 4 energy, this is a 2/6 with sneak attack. That's not too bad. That's pretty good. I personally like Rogvard Slayers as an option because they have ward. Don't worry about attacking with Othere, but if you heal them and then you follow it up on your next turn with 2 flanks, this becomes a 5/4 plus 2 health potentially, who then heals when it attacks, and then it's a 5/4 on your opponent's turn. And as far as Space Wolves go, like Wolf Spirit is not a bad card to give you some of those flanking troops that maybe you don't have. Maybe you get yourself a second Baelai. Maybe that's how you get Baelai. Or if you just have just enough cards, and this isn't something I recommend for Othere, this is more a strategy I use for my Bjorn, which is pretty fun, is playing Underverse. I like playing Underverse and getting like multiple Baelais, but that's for Bjorn. That's a different deck video. Did I do Bjorn? I don't think I did my Bjorn deck. Oh man, I gotta show that off. It's been a busy year. Don't touch the high cost guys. Don't touch, like most of your stuff here, as you can see off the curve on the deck. It is very 2, 3, 4 because you want to multi-combo, you want to multi-flank, you want to multi-attack, and passives from Othere will help keep those troops alive longer. In addition to that, then you play the mission and everything gets stronger. So even if you're playing a 2-drop, if you attack with 2 or 3 troops when you play it, it quickly becomes a 4 or 5 drop. There are multiple games where I end up with the Hemdall squad that's like a 7/7 before it attacks. Like it's crazy. Like, that's a free card. Just fun games. Fun games and something to do. Like I said, Certified Titan Killer, not yet. I'd like to come across a Titan. I'm going to be playing this the next couple of days with the Trader Titans launch to see if I can score that stamp of approval for myself. But yeah, give it a whirl, give it a go. Tell me what you think. If you want to play Mission Wolves, if you want to play the Sons of Fenris, if you have Sons of Fenris, or even if you don't, play Othere Wyrdmake. He's fun, But if you don't have Sons of Fenris, to be fair, if you do not have Sons of Fenris, you may want to scale back some of that flanking and then consider a couple of those beefier warded troops, or the 5/5s, maybe a couple extra front lines that you can keep alive. That is a good point. This is designed for the mission. But if you're looking to not play the mission and still want to play Othere, you do want to have a way to protect yourself. And frontline or bigger warded troops might be the way to go about it. Not necessarily Wolfguard. Skrin is very nice. The new guy. Where's the new guy at? Not Grimmer. There you go. That's the one. Find a way to get this out a little bit cheaper, maybe with the supply lines, and then drop him early, drop him hard. It's an 8/8 front line with ward. That's steely. That's Steely Dan. All right, guys. That's it for me. Until next time, keep playing Legions, and we'll talk to you later. Bye.